Today we're going to talk about when I did MMA while I was blind. So yeah, my message is really important because when I was younger, I didn't necessarily always have people telling me that I could do things. Today we're going to talk about when I did MMA while I was blind. And I know you guys have been requesting this one legitimately for months. I always pick the windiest days to film. Oh my God, you guys. I found a bookstore. I love books. Although I prefer audiobooks. I think you guys can guess why. But I love reading them too. Dude, check this out. This is Spaceman Fred. How do I know? Because it says it here. What? Check that out. It says, freebie, he needs a home. So, if you're in Burbank and you need a rubber ducky, find Spaceman Fred. You guys were asking about how I did MMA when I was blind. Now, I kind of lucked into this or whatever, stumbled into it, because what happened was in the 80s and 90s, karate was a big thing. And I was getting bullied a lot. Think of it this way. I could not see. I could not interact. So if you would walk up to me when I was in school, my head would be down into everything, because I had, again, for people just tuning in, my version of blind was I could see only up to half of my eyelashes. So that wasn't enough to give me the ability to interact with people. So the other kids would just bully the crap out of me. I remember, in grade school, 6 or 7 boys just had me on the floor, on the concrete of the play yard, and they were just kicking and spitting on me for, probably 5 minutes. I felt abandoned. I didn't have a mom and a dad, so it wasn't like mom and dad were going to advocate for me. It was a really painful time. And I guess, everyone knew that I was different. You guys, see this person with the corgi? That was a corgi puppy. He was so cute. I walked by and he said, you could take him home if you like. And I'm like, can I pet him? And he let me pet it. I freaking love Burbank. That's why to this day, I'm always the person that steps in when I see stuff like that. And sometimes it's not to my own benefit. I don't know what was worse, the mental or the physical bullying, but the physical bullying I was able to do something about. I eventually managed to convince the people that were raising me to pay some money to send me to a karate school. And, karate, whatever, but they also happened to be where the Pittsburgh police had trained at the time. What is that? Oh, it's a wolf. That's awesome. This is why I love California. There's stuff like this everywhere. I'm just like, what? Oh, I almost got eaten. Cool. When I want to do something and when I like to do something, I just obsess over it and I do it until I know it. I'm still that way. I had to rig up so many accessibility things to really get to where I was going to go. I had to take the long way to everything, but I'm fine. If I need to take the long way, I'll see you at the end. I'll be there. The owner of the school, I was the only girl there at the time, because in the 80s and 90s, now we have women on Instagram that are lifting, that are doing all kinds of stuff, and that's freaking amazing. But in the 80s and 90s, you were considered a freak if you went to a gym and you were a woman and you weren't doing cardio. That's how it was. It was cardio only. So I stuck out. I was the only woman in an all-men's program, and I couldn't see. So I think that actually gave me the confidence that I needed, because I would just go in there and do my best, like if my life didn't matter. And the owner of the school took me on. He was kind of like a second father to me, because I didn't really know my father. So it was a safe place that I would go to, and I would train, and I was up there 5, 6, 7 hours a day sometimes. In high school, I would actually cut school to go up there. And so nobody else was going to come to my rescue. That was pretty obvious, because I was beaten so many times in school. And then eventually I learned to fight, and things changed really fast. I haven't done this in 20 years, so.
Looks great. Nice. Yeah.
My arm is going dead from holding this. At the time, there was no women in UFC. UFC wasn't a thing for ladies. They were very anti that, and so there was no place for me to actually go professionally. Some of the local places would allow me to go in because, she's part of this school. I would do a lot of back alley stuff with my school. But I had a glass ceiling, which is kind of good, because impact to my head, my retinas are very, very sensitive. Impact to my head could actually blind me even today. So I don't know why I was doing that. Actually, I do know why. Because nobody was protecting me, and I felt that I needed to freaking protect myself. I would not wish my school years on my worst enemy. But I did MMA through high school and through college, and then a little bit after college, and then I retired because, again, there was no place for me to fight, and it was medically dangerous for me to continue to do so. I'm entering the outside. The enter sign is going to the exit. So it was an opportunity for me to tell a bad joke. Now this is the part where I forgot where I parked. Again. If I posted this video, that means I found where my car is, and I was able to go home.